Hello everyone, welcome back to Sydney and Starlet. And if you're new here, welcome. Enjoy the videos. So today, me and Sydney are going to be opening this Peanuts, a Charlie Brown Christmas, a book and tree kit box. So let's begin. Today is Christmas, so today is very special. So Sydney is going to do the honors of opening this up. There it goes. Oh, there's more. What's in there? What was that? Oh, is this like a little blankie? Okay, so let's move this. Oh, whoops. So this is the little tree with its tiny little ornament. Take a good look at this little tree. And then you put the tree inside here, this little wooden stand. And then, just like on the box, we put the little blankie around it, and it's all comfy and cozy. It's a sweet little tree. Yay! Okay, I did not put it on very well. Let me just get this again. It's probably fine. There we go. Now it's completely covered, this little tree. And then it also comes with this book that's been upside down the entire time. Peanuts, a Charlie Brown Christmas. And we can read this book together. Let's read it. Charlie Brown Christmas. It was finally Christmas time, the best time of the year. The houses were strung with tiny colored lights, their windows shining with the warm yellow glow only Christmas could bring. These scents of pine and needles and hot cocoa mingled together, wafting through the air, and the sweet sounds of Christmas carols could be heard in the distance. Fluffy white snowflakes tumbled from the sky onto a group of joyful children as they sang and laughed. Aww. Skating on the frozen pond in town, everyone was happy and full of holiday cheer. That is, everyone except for Charlie Brown. I think there must be something wrong with me, he told his friend. Linus, I just don't understand Christmas, I guess. I might be getting presents and sending Christmas cards and decorating trees and all that, but I'm still not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel. Linus looked over at his friend. Charlie Brown, you're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Maybe Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest. Charlie Brown walked through the snow, thinking about what Linus had said. When he reached the mailbox, Charlie Brown hopefully poked his head inside. It was empty. Rats, he said out loud, feeling sadder than ever. Nobody sent me a Christmas card today. I know nobody likes me. Why do we have to have a holiday season to emphasize it? Violet was also outside, enjoying the wintry snowfall and reading a holiday card she had just received. Thanks for the Christmas card you sent me, Violet, said Charlie Brown bitterly. I didn't send you a Christmas card, she responded. Charlie Brown thrust his hands deep in his pockets and made a face. Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it? He walked past the houses on the street. He could not help but notice all his other friends throwing snowballs, building snowmen, and catching snowflakes on their tongues. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, but Charlie Brown was still sad, desperate to disguise discuss his inappropriate holiday mood, Charlie Brown sat down on the stool in front of Lucy's psychiatric booth. "I am in sad shape," he told her, frowning. Lucy was excited to have a customer, but she stopped him short before hearing any more details. She demanded that Charlie Brown pay in advance. For her psychiatric advice, Charlie Brown reached into his pocket and dropped a shiny nickel in her money can. The coin made a metallic clinking noise as it fell into the bottom of the can. "Boy, I love the beautiful sound of cold, hard cash," said Lucy. "That beautiful, beautiful sound. Nickels, nickels, nickels. That beautiful sound of punking nickels," Lucy grinned. "Now, what seems to be your trouble?" Charlie Brown told her that he knew he should be happy during Christmas, like everyone else, but he just couldn't seem to manage it. Lucy was entirely ready to diagnose his problem. "Well, as they say on TV, the mere fact that you realize you need help indicates that you are not too far gone." Lucy looked at him sternly. "I think we'd better pinpoint your fears. If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it." "What? Are you afraid of responsibility? If you are, then you have hypogenophobia. How about cats? If you're afraid of cats, you have allurophobia. Are you afraid of staircases? If you are, then you have climacophobia. Maybe you have thalassophobia. This is the fear of ocean, or geophobia, which is the fear of crossing bridges. Or maybe you have pantophobia. Do you think you have pantophobia? What's pantophobia?" asked Charlie Brown. "The fear of everything," she responded. "That's it!" shouted a briefly encouraged Charlie Brown. But then his glum expression returned. "Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down." Lucy came around from behind the booth to confront her friend face to face. "You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real Christmas project. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play?" Whoa. Charlie Brown could hardly believe his ears. "Me? You want me to be the director of the Christmas play?" Lucy tried hard to persuade Charlie Brown to join in. "Sure, Charlie Brown. We need a director. We've got a shepherd, musicians, animals, everyone we need. We've even got a Christmas queen." Charlie Brown hesitated. What did he know about how to properly direct a Christmas play? "Don't worry," Lucy reassured him. "I'll be there to help you." Charlie Brown thought for a moment. Maybe he did need to get involved with a holiday project in order to feel better about things. Lucy's confidence was almost contagious. Besides, he couldn't let everyone down. They needed him. Figuring he had nothing to lose, Charlie Brown agreed to meet Lucy and the rest of the cast later at the auditorium. "Incidentally," Lucy added, "I know how you feel about all this Christmas business, getting depressed and all that. It happens to me every year. I never get what I really want. I always get a lot of stupid toys or a bicycle or clothes or something like that." "What is it you want?" asked Charlie Brown. Lucy looked right at him. "Real estate." Just then, Charlie Brown noticed his dog, Snoopy, pass by. hauling a large brown box overflowing with colorful holiday lights and decorations. He followed Snoopy back to his doghouse, watched as the dog began to create a large display of ornaments and lights on the roof. "What's going on here?" he inquired. Snoopy grinned and handed him a flyer. It said, "Find the true meaning of Christmas. Win money, money, money. Spectacular, super colossal neighborhood Christmas lights and display contest." Charlie Brown looked up at the sky in dismay. Even his very own dog had gone comical. The thought of the contest made Charlie Brown feel positively sick. Was money all anyone cared about? Charlie Brown couldn't stand it. He threw the flyer in the air and left Snoopy to decorate his doghouse alone. As he walked away, Charlie Brown ran into his little sister, Sally. "I've been looking for you, big brother," she said. "Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me? You write it and I'll tell you what I want to say." Charlie Brown was in a hurry to get to the school auditorium on time for play rehearsal, but he couldn't say no to his sister. Charlie Brown took the pen and clipboard from Sally's outstretched hands and prepared to write. "Okay, shoot," he said. Sally began to rattle off her letter to Santa. "I've been extra good this year, so I have a long list of presents that I want." "Oh, brother," sighed Charlie Brown. Sally continued, "Please note the size and color of each item and send as many as possible. If it seems too complicated, make it easy on yourself. Just send money. How about tens and twenties? Charlie Brown was dismayed. Even his baby sister had become greedy. Writing a letter to Santa Claus was one thing, but demanding cash from him was just absurd. Charlie Brown returned the pen and clipboard to his sister and hurried to the auditorium for the first day of rehearsal. He arrived just on time, and the rest of the kids were already gathered on stage and in the wings of the theater. He walked over to the director's chair to address the cast, but as he began to speak, Charlie Brown realized that all the kids were dancing and goofing around, and that no one was paying any attention to him at all. Oh, wow. He picked up a megaphone and tried again. "All right," he said. "Stop the music. We're going to do this play, and we're going to do it right." Lucy picked up a stack of scripts and began to assign roles. Fredia played the innkeeper's wife, Pigpen played the innkeeper, and Shermie played a shepherd. Snoopy was delighted to play the roles of all the different animals, from sheep to cow to penguin. When she came around to Linus, who was also playing a shepherd, Lucy handed him a script and instructed him to memorize his lines so he could recite them on cue. Linus hugged his trusty blue blanket and began to protest. "This is ridiculous. I can't memorize something like this so quickly. Why should I be put through such agony? Give me one good reason why I should have to memorize this." Lucy glowered at Linus and made a fist, curling one menacing finger at a time. "I'll give you 5 good reasons," she said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Linus stared at Lucy's threatening fist and swallowed hands. "Those are good reasons," he agreed. "Christmas is not getting too commercial. It's getting too dangerous." Lucy frowned. "And get rid of that stupid blanket. What's a Christmas shepherd going to look like holding a stupid blanket like that?" Charlie Brown did his best to control his temper. "All right, let's have it quiet," he said. "Places, everybody. Schroeder, set the mood for the first scene." Schroeder sat at his piano and began to play a cheerful jazz tune. The entire cast started to dance all over the place. "Cut, cut," shouted Charlie Brown. It was all wrong. He suggested that they rehearse another scene instead, but no one seems to be able to concentrate. Fredia complains that Pigpen's dust was ruining the style of her naturally curly hair. Sally stayed close to Linus, watching his every move and occasionally resting her little blonde head on his shoulder. "Isn't he the cutest thing?" she asked anyone who would listen. Meanwhile, Lucy and Snoopy demanded a lunch break. "Good grief," exclaimed Charlie Brown, who was determined to get back to work on the play. "There's no time for foolishness. Let's take it from the top again." Schroeder began to play his jazzy piano music again, which sent everyone into another dancing frenzy. Lucy came over and stood next to Charlie Brown. What's the matter?" she asked again. "Don't you think it's great?" Charlie Brown shook his head. Something just wasn't right. "Look," said Lucy, matter-of-factly. "Let's face it. We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket. It's run by a big Eastern syndicate, you know?" "Well," Charlie Brown responded, "this is one play that's not going to be commercial. What our play needs is the proper Christmas mood. We need a Christmas tree." Lucy clapped her hands. "Hey, perhaps a tree. A great big shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's it. The biggest aluminum tree you can find. Maybe paint it pink." Charlie Brown left Lucy in charge of rehearsal and set out with Linus to find the perfect tree for their play. The boys finally reached a Christmas tree lot filled with a vast array of bright, shiny aluminum trees. Then, in the midst of all the brightly colored metal, they caught sight of a tiny green pine tree on a simple wooden stand. "Gee," said Linus, "I didn't know they still made wooden Christmas trees." Charlie Brown went over to the little tree. "This one seems to need a home," he said. Linus stopped him for a moment. "I don't know. Look at all those trees." "Remember what Lucy said? This doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit." But Charlie Brown was adamant. "I don't care," he said. "We'll decorate it, and it would be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me." They returned to the auditorium, and Charlie Brown carefully placed the little green Christmas tree on top of Schroeder's piano. "We're back," he announced, getting everyone's attention. All the kids gathered around the small, sad-looking tree. "Boy, are you stupid, Charlie Brown," said Violet. Lucy spoke up next. "You're supposed to get a good tree. You can't even tell a good tree from a poor tree. You're hopeless, Charlie Brown," sighed Patty. "You've been done before, but this time you really did it," said Lucy. "Aww." All the kids laughed at Charlie Brown and at his pathetic little tree. Then they all walked away, leaving him alone and bewildered next to the piano. Linus approached him slowly, blanket in hand. "I guess you were right, Linus," said Charlie Brown miserably. "I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is about. Isn't there anyone who understands what Christmas is all about?" "Sure," said Linus. "I can tell you what Christmas is all about." He walked to the center of the stage where a single spotlight shone right on him, and he began to speak. "And there were, in the same country, shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by right. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. They were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel, a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. Linus picked up his blanket and walked back toward the piano. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. All of the kids in the auditorium were silent. Charlie Brown picked up his little Christmas tree and smiled. He carried it outside and looked up into the dark night sky, twinkling with a million silvery stars. Linus is right, he said to himself, the words still echoing in his mind. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play. He headed home and came upon Snoopy's prize-winning doghouse. Charlie Brown grabbed a large red ornament from the roof and hung it carefully on the top branch of his little Christmas tree. Charlie Brown cringed with dismay as the entire tree bent over from the weight of the single ornament. I've killed it, he shouted, feeling sad and frustrated. Everything I touched gets ruined. He gave up on decorating the tree and walked away with his shoulders as bent as the little tree's trunk. The rest of Charlie Brown's friends walked over the tree. Linus leaned over and straightened out the branch. I never thought it was such a bad little tree, he confessed, wrapping his blanket gently around the base of the trunk. It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love. The kids looked at Snoopy's doghouse decorations and then at the tree. Without another word, they removed the decorations from the doghouse and gathered around the sad little tree. Working together, they quickly transformed it into a truly beautiful sight, complete with a star on top. Even Lucy had to admit that it looked wonderful. Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree. The whole gang circled around the decorated tree, and someone began to hum, "O Little Town of Bethlehem." Charlie Brown heard the noise and came over to the group. "What's going on here?" he asked. "Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!" everyone shouted. Charlie Brown couldn't help but smile. He caught sight of the little tree. His little tree that no one had wanted. And he could hardly believe his eyes. His friends' effort had transformed it into something truly special. Everyone sang, "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and merry mild." Sing it with me. "God and sinner reconciled. Joyful all ye nations wise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Surrounded by his friends, Charlie Brown realized that Linus had been right about the true meaning of Christmas. This was the Christmas spirit he had been looking for all along. At last, the season seemed 100 times brighter, and for Charlie Brown, it was truly the merriest Christmas ever. That
is
the end. That was a long story considering it's in this tiny little book, but that was really sweet. Now what we're going to do is put everything back in its box. So let's move the blanket, take this off, and put this here. I'm not exactly sure if this is how it goes. Let's put this in here. So that is it for today, everyone. Really hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Miss.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.